Listen to what Donald Trump said about the reality of US-Canada trade relations, and you'll understand entirely why Justin Trudeau bent the knee like he did.
Look, what I'd like to see, Canada become our 51st state. We give them protection, military protection. We don't need them to build our cars. I'd rather see Detroit or South Carolina or any one of our Tennessee, any one of our states build the cars. They could do it very easily. We don't need them for the cars. We don't need them for lumber. We don't need them for anything. We don't need them for energy. We have more energy than they do. We don't need them for energy. So I say, why are we doing this? Why are we willing to lose between $100 billion and $200 billion a year? We don't need them. As a state, it's different.
The point of a trade agreement is this: I make this thing, you make that thing, let's buy from each other and it'll be mutually beneficial. But the reality of US and Canada is we don't need to buy anything from them. We do it because they're our neighbor and we want to help them out. But we're not going to run at a $100 billion trade deficit just to help them out when that money can be spent with American companies instead. The Democrats were freaking out, oh, everything you buy is going to get more expensive because of this. The reality is this: 2.6% of everything Americans buy comes from Canada and Mexico combined. That means for every $100 Americans spend, $2.50 of that is on Canadian and Mexican goods. And if those goods increase by 25%, you're talking about an increase of 60 cents for every $100 that America spends. So if you spent $200 at the grocery store, these tariffs would have increased that price by $1.20. Democrats were saying, oh, Canada will turn off our energy. Canada's utility companies are $55 billion in debt. If they didn't sell to America, they would quite literally go bankrupt, leaving Canadians without any electricity. The oil that they ship to us gets refined in American refineries and sent back up into Canada because they don't have the refineries to be able to do it themselves. If they stop selling oil to us, we would stop sending back refined oil to them, and then they would go through an energy crisis. The Democrat media was so disingenuous in explaining these tariffs. They were swearing up and down it was the worst thing in the world for Americans without highlighting how disastrous it was for Canadians, because it wouldn't fit their narrative that Donald Trump doesn't know what he's doing and that he's out to hurt the American consumer. I'm honestly interested to see how the liberal media is going to try and spin this into some sort of Trump loss, because that's what they've been doing with every single win that he's been racking up the past 2 weeks.